And good Friday evening. Fox 29 Weather Authority Scott Williams, of course, keeping tabs on severe weather. We now have a tornado warning for Newcastle County until 11:30. That is in northern sections of Delaware. Let's get to Ultimate Doppler and show you what we're watching. Of course, very heavy rainfall with this system, lots of lightning, and we're talking about rainfall rates anywhere from about 4 to 6 inches per hour as this system lifts on off to the north and east, about 20 miles per hour. So we've been watching this throughout the afternoon and into the evening, pushing through Maryland, crossing the Chesapeake Bay, the eastern shore of Maryland, and of course, very heavy rainfall with this system. So what we're going to do is look at Ultimate Doppler, take a little tour and just kind of show you what we're watching with this system. But very heavy rainfall as we kind of zoom in, and you can see what we're watching through sections of Newcastle County for this particular tornado warning. It's lifting to the northeast at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. Cecil County, Maryland is included, but also sections of Newcastle County, Delaware included in this particular warning. Now take a look at this source. We have a lot going on here. Newark, Delaware, you're included in this. Highway 40, also as you get into just to the north of 301. So really between Middletown and also Newark, Delaware, that is what we're watching with this particular cell, producing heavy rainfall. So this is the type of rain where you just have to pull off to the side of the road. That's just how heavy this system is. Remember, we have that flash flood warning in effect as well. We also have lightning with this system. So we're going to be in this for the next half hour. Baltimore area, they had multiple severe thunderstorms as well as tornado warnings for that particular area, but this has been crossing the Chesapeake, crossing the eastern shore of Maryland, moving into sections of Newcastle County in Delaware. So once again, we do have that tornado warning until 11:30. That does include Newark, Delaware. So we're keeping tabs on this as it moves to the north at about 25 miles per hour. Potential Doppler radar indicated tornado is located near Bohemia's Mills and also just to the north of the Middletown area. So once again, we're watching just heavy rainfall with this as it moves out of Maryland and crosses into sections of Newcastle County. A lot of the storms earlier were producing heavy rainfall with ponding on the roads. There was some rotation with this system throughout the entire day, so that spin in the atmosphere is still there. Earlier, we were looking at some of the helicity values with this system, and there was a little bit of a bullseye around the nation's capital, moving across the Chesapeake and into sections of Newcastle County, Delaware. So look at all of the history with this system on Ultimate Doppler, and you can just see it's had a history of lots of damaging winds as well as heavy rainfall with this system as it continues moving in our particular area. So once again, if you're just joining us, we're looking at a newly issued tornado warning for Newcastle County in Delaware until about 11:30. So once again, I'm going to zoom in here and just show you what we're watching as far as the heavy rainfall. We're probably looking at rainfall rates anywhere from about 4 to maybe even higher inches per hour. So what I'm going to do is just go back to this particular radar. I'm going to switch this to show you what some of those rainfall rates are with this system, and then try and query a few of those for you in the vicinity of Newcastle County. That's almost 5 inches per hour. There you go. That's almost 6 inches per hour. So just very heavy rainfall with this system as it moves out of Cecil County, Maryland, and into sections of Newcastle County in Delaware. Moving to the north about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Newark, Delaware is included in that. And I mean, we're talking about just heavy rainfall across the area. It's been pivoting out of Maryland into the Delaware Valley. Now, here's a live look, in fact, outside of our studios in Philadelphia, and you can see the rains coming down. Temperature temperatures are still in the 60s out there, so kind of mild. It's muggy out there, and that's what we've been kind of dealing with across the Delaware Valley. So let's get back to the radar and show you what we're watching with some of those rainfall rates as well as some of the other locations. Let's get back into Newcastle County and show you the Wilmington area. I believe we have a live camera for that particular area showing you just very heavy rainfall, and you can see folks are kind of driving slow because that rain is coming down at a pretty good clip in the southern and central part of Newcastle County. People have their flashers on. I think you can kind of see there showing you just how heavy that rainfall is. There, look at all the vivid lightning, and that's what we're getting with this system as it continues pivoting to the north and the east. Now, we talked about the helicity. We're kind of looking. You can see that bullseye right over sections of Newcastle County. This is basically just spin in the atmosphere, and that is why we have that potential for a rain-wrapped tornado in sections of Newcastle County and Delaware right now. The tornado watch, that's still in effect for most of the area until about midnight. So we still have the energy, we still have the dynamics to produce that. We also have the flash flood watch that's in effect, and that will produce maybe 1 to 2 inches of rainfall across the Delaware Valley. So as we go back to the weather computer, you can see we're watching that system as it pivots toward our area, still moving into some locations, but very heavy rain, gusty winds. And look at the latest timing for this system over the next couple of hours. We're going to be watching that band of rain move through Newcastle County into Philadelphia, lift to the north and the east, and then on the back end of it, we have some leftover activity early on Saturday morning. But the severe weather threat is now over the next hour or so, and then as we get toward tomorrow morning, non-severe likely, but there still could be some gusty winds as we watch that system kind of pinwheel through the Delaware Valley. So lots of events are taking place this upcoming weekend. We'll have another round of potential isolated severe storms during tomorrow afternoon. So once again, those temperatures still in the mid to upper 60s out there, and we're watching over the next several hours those temperatures holding in the low 60s. And yes, that threat for rain and wind will continue. Now, airport delays have been climbing for the Philadelphia area, so there's been some issues there. You may know someone that was trying to get out and maybe their flight was canceled. There was a ground stop, and looking at problems trying to get out of the Philadelphia International Airport. So here's a look at that weekend forecast once again for you, and then we're talking about those temperatures that will be below average for the upcoming weekend. But once again, looking at this tornado warning for Newcastle County and Delaware. So there is the potential on ultimate Doppler for a rain-wrapped tornado. There's also a flash flood warning going on. So there's a lot happening right now in Newcastle County with the very heavy rainfall, and you can see it on Highway 13, 301. So really between Newark and Middletown, that is the area that we're watching for this potential rotation on ultimate Doppler. So I'm going to take a look at some other products that we have here in the FOX29 Weather Authority and show you what we're watching in terms of that, just to kind of give you an idea of the history of this system as well as some of the rotation that we're following on this system as well. So as we get back to our Barron product here, and you can see what we're following here on the radar, and we're just going to kind of query some things and show you a little bit about where this storm is moving as well as the history of that heavy rainfall with this in sections of Newcastle County. So you can see as we expand that view that we're still looking at this lifting to the north and lifting to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So we're going to zoom in once again and show you some of those areas in question. You need to be in the lowest part of your home, interior, a windowless closet or bathroom. So this does include places like Newark, Delaware, Christiana, near the mall, moving back toward the Glasgow area, Highway 40, Bear, you are included in this particular tornado warning. Moving back down to Goose Point as you get toward the Summit Bridge area as well. So that's what we're following here with this particular system. So once again, this is moving to the north and east at about 25 miles per hour. It's had a history of heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and vivid lightning as it lifts to the north and lifts to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So once again, if you're just joining us, a tornado warning for sections of Newcastle County and Delaware until 11:30. So that's what we're following and that's what we're watching right now on the radar. There is some lightning with this system. There's heavy rainfall as well as gusty winds. That Wilmington shot, if we could take that again, you see that folks are driving slow, and of course they had their flashers on because some of those rainfall rates are anywhere from about 4 to 6 inches per hour with this particular system as it continues moving through sections of Newcastle County in Delaware. So once again, watching very heavy rainfall and gusty winds with this system as it continues to push to the north and to the east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So here's another vantage point from across the area, and you can see what we're talking about and what we're following with that very heavy rain as well as the gusty winds. As we go back to our Barron computer, you can see we're looking at that heavy rainfall that's pushing to the north and pushing to the east. So I'm going to zoom in on the radar and show you some of the cities and towns that we're watching. The Brookside area, you're included in that. And once again, we're watching some of the other locations. So that's just around, let's see here, the highways that we're watching. 40, right around the Glasgow area, you're included in that. Christiana, you're included in that as this pushes toward I-95, moving to the north and moving to the east. I'm going to look and see what the Weather Service chatter is talking about with this as well. So it continues for Newcastle County until about 11:30. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado just to the north of the Middletown area. It's moving to the north at about 25 miles per hour. So that's what we're watching here with this particular system as it continues pushing to the north and pushing to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So once again, we're talking about a flash flood warning in effect for Newcastle County, as well as that tornado warning generally for the northern and western part of the county. There you can see highlighted there with that red polygon. So where you want to be is an interior windowless closet or bathroom with this system. And if you don't have a basement, that's where you definitely want to be. Basement would be the best option, but if you don't, you want to be an interior windowless closet or bathroom with this system. So we've been watching this activity as it's been lifting to the north, lifting to the east throughout the afternoon and into the evening. It's had a history of funnel clouds outside of D.C. as well as wind damage between Baltimore and D.C. So it crossed the Chesapeake, moved toward the eastern shore of Maryland, and now it's moving into Newcastle County, the heaviest of it, with prompting flash flood warning as well as the severe weather that we're getting that's moving through the Delaware Valley. So we've been talking about this system all week, watching it, and it's now pivoting into our area, and that is producing the heavy rainfall and also the gusty wind. So once again, looking at this system as it continues moving to the north and moving to the east. We have lightning with this. We have very heavy rainfall, and we're going to zoom into this sliver of Newcastle County where we have what would be a rain-wrapped tornado if we have one. Doppler radar indicated a tornado with this system as it pushes to the north and pushes to the east. So you can see between Interstate 95, Christiana, moving back toward the Glasgow area, very heavy rainfall with this system as it continues moving to the north and to the east. As far as the time of this, it's moving at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So that is what we're watching and that is what we're following with this tornado warning until 11:30 for sections of Newcastle County. So that is what we're following right now on Ultimate Doppler. And you can see that we're watching this as it continues lifting to the north and lifting to the east, producing some of that heavy rainfall and the gusty winds. It's prompted that flash flood warning for Newcastle County, and that continues over the next hour or so. And now it's been expanded, the flash flood warning, to the north and to the east to include sections of Delaware County and into Chester County with that very heavy rainfall. So the rainfall rates with this have been anywhere from about 4 to 6 inches per hour. So that is the intensity of this system as it continues moving on off to the north and to the east. So that is what we're following, and that is what we're watching here right now. This continues until 11:30, that tornado warning for sections of Newcastle County, and that is what we're watching. If we could switch back over to the live camera, and you can see Wilmington showing you that heavy rainfall. I mean, it's just a blinding rainfall. This is outside of our studios. We're looking at some of the rainfall moving in, but some of the other cameras from across the area will show you a different story of that heavy rainfall. And those winds will likely be gusting in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour. So some straight line wind damage with this is certainly likely as well. I don't know if we can switch back to our Barron source or not, but I wanted to show just some of those rainfall rates that we're getting. There we go. With this system, and that is just indicative of just the very heavy rainfall. So what I'm going to do is just query some of these rainfall rates across the area in Newcastle County, and you can see, look at that, that's querying about 8 inches per hour. So just blinding rainfall with this, almost 7 inches per hour, and that is just outside of the Middletown area with this system. So once again, this has had a history of very heavy rainfall as well as gusty winds. So as we look at the velocity product on here, there's just broad rotation with this system. So that's what we're following right now through sections of Newcastle County with this system, capable of producing a rain-wrapped tornado. So places like Newark, you are included in that. Also moving toward the Brookside vicinity with this particular tornado. So I'm going to just zoom in a little closer and see if some of the other areas will kind of pop up. And there we go. You can see Wilson. This is Welsh Track Road. You are included in that, as well as Sunset Lake Road. You're included in this tornado warning. Places like Summer Hill. Moving toward Beck's Landing, you've got Pulaski Highway. You are included in this as well. Four Seasons Park, moving back toward the Glasgow area. Carvel Farms, if you live in some of these areas. South College Avenue, this is in that tornado warned zone until 11:30 for sections of Newcastle County and Delaware. So this is moving to the northeast at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. It's south and west of Wilmington. Very heavy rainfall as well as gusty winds with this tornado warned system as it continues pushing to the north and the east. So once again, we've been watching the energy, watching the dynamics to produce some of this severe weather. I'm going to look at the futurecast over the next several hours, and you can see how things are going to pivot to the north and pivot to the east with very heavy rainfall as well as gusty winds over the next couple of hours or so. And that is what we're watching with this system that will bring us very heavy rainfall over the next several hours with gusty winds and that threat for a tornado as we get toward midnight. We still have that tornado watch in effect, so that is what we're following with this system. Let's take a look at some of the wind gusts from around the area, and you can see right now Dover's gusting to about 26 miles per hour, so we're following that. We're looking at the dew point temperatures. Those are currently in the 60s, so a lot of tropical moisture out there. And I don't have IFB right now, so I don't know if we could get me a new battery. I lost IFB, if you hear me. We don't have IFB, but we're talking about temperatures that are currently in the mid to upper 60s, and that is very mild, very tropical in nature. So we're really watching the axis of this system that's kind of spinning right over the Delaware Valley. So you've got kind of this convergence and you've got this twist in the atmosphere, and that is giving us the threat for that severe weather, as well as for maybe a rain-wrapped tornado right now moving through sections of Newcastle County in Delaware. So once again, watching this system, and it looks like they've allowed for that tornado to expire, that tornado warning that was in effect until 11:30. To expire for sections of Newcastle County, but nonetheless, we are still watching very heavy rainfall with this system and gusty winds. So once again, good news is that rotation has weakened, and it's more of a broad rotation in nature through sections of Newcastle County. So they have allowed for that tornado warning to expire. So we'll now send you to regularly scheduled programming.